Hello everyone, and welcome back to Free to Play to Max, the series. On our last episode, we left off at the end of Tutorial Island. I have some notes from episode 0. Going forwards, the game window will be stretched to fit the playback window, and I am very sorry for episode 0's dimensions. I am learning as I go, and OBS is a very new software to me. I am eager to learn from my mistakes, so please do bear with me as I go through those motions. I'm also now painfully aware of how awkward it is to have silent video gameplay, and I will start utilizing music tracks to fill that empty space. Lastly, I am not sure how my voice recording looped at the end of the video, but that should not happen again. Before we get started, please consider dropping a like, a comment, and maybe even subscribe. We really appreciate your time, and without further ado, here's episode 1. Alright, here we are, and let's get started. When I last logged off, John here, Adventurer John, sorry, he whispered over to me and asked me to take a walk over and have a conversation. I guess he wants to introduce me to the game. I assume this is some kind of onboarding mechanic that was brought on since the last time I've played. A disclaimer, I am a noob. I have only been playing RuneScape for like 15 years, so I'm still pretty garbage. And I'll treat this as an opportunity to let you know that I'm not going to be efficient, I'm not going to be the best, and I'm hoping just to be entertaining to watch. With that being said, I do not want to waste any time, so I am going to go ahead and get cracking on with this, because we have some restrictions on our account at the moment that I didn't impose. It's a little frustrating, but we're going to have to get 10 quest points quickly, and then I believe get 100 total levels. So we're going to start off by doing Cook's Assistant, which, you know, I could have just gone and gotten everything, but I guess we'll go through the motions. What's wrong? Yup. Start. I know where to find this. Yeah, okay, great. So we've started Cook's Assistant. As we're doing Cook's Assistant, we're going to try to keep an eye out for imps so that we can bang out the imp catcher quest. That, alongside with, I believe, Romeo and Juliet, and maybe the Witch's Potion, should get us to, if not pretty close, to the 10 quest points. Now, if you don't know how to do this initial quest, the Cook's Assistant quest, you'll literally just keep your bucket and your pot that you spawned with. There's a cow in the pen here. You'll milk the cow. Don't steal its dairy, its cowbell, because you can't. It's members only. And I'm not paying for that. So then once you get this, run over to these chickens. There's the chicken pen right up here. We're going to spend a little bit of time here shortly. Oh, wow. Haley Loya here has spent some time in the wilderness recently. And they were the aggressor. That's what the PK skull above their head is. Wow. They've got quite the set on them, don't they? Because it couldn't be me. Once you've got this egg, then just run back down. You'll need to cross this bridge here. Well, really, you can cross the other as well. This is the closer bridge. You'll just need to get to this side of the River Lum, which is this river here. There's an imp there, so I am actually gonna use my spells. Let's take this off so that we're not inaccurate, and let's see if we can't get the kill. It would be really nice to get a bead. Or, you know, even a pot of flour would save me this next step on the quest. So looks like we need to hit 2 more. I actually want to move this somewhere better. Badoodle. Oh, close, but no cigar. I got the pot, but I did not get the flour. I'll just run up quickly and grab it. I won't pause. Just in case any of you fellow noobs don't quite know where the flower is, or how to procure it, you'll follow this path here, past all these cowhides. I am sorry about all of these item names popping up. I use RuneLite, as I'm sure most of you do. For those of you not aware, RuneLite is a third-party client. It is authorized for use by Jagex. it gives you plugins, things that you can use to accentuate gameplay, and essentially just make the game just a little bit easier. You know, some of these things can get pretty cheaty, so I've disabled many of them. This tile marker is one of them. It just kind of shows me where I've clicked, and I can mark a tile if I want to remember a specific tile. It's not very cheaty, but these things do exist. I won't be using many of them. You'll enter this pen here after opening this gate. Pick some wheat. Careful not to pickpocket the farmer. That does cost 6.5 million gold in exchange for a bond. You'll have to use the bond in order to get 2 weeks worth of membership. It's very wasteful unless you'd like to spend real dollars. Let's go up these stairs or up this ladder here. This millstone here is milling, or could potentially be milling, wheat into flour, but unless someone's up here, it's not. And yeah, no one's up here, so let's go ahead and take this grain and pop it into the hopper here. And then there's some levers here called hopper controls. We'll pull this. Now don't worry that this gentleman is also using it. It is instanced to your character. It knows how much your character has put in, and it knows whether or not your character has pulled the lever. Go back on down, and there's a bin here. This contains your flour. Now, if you would have done 2 flour, there'd be 2 pots worth of flour down here. If you would have milled 2 sets of wheat, sorry. Go ahead and collect your flour, and head on back down to the cook. We'll meet you down there. On the way back to the cook, you'll notice these 3 tutors here, and I want you to realize that the magic tutor here does give away magic runes. If you don't in your inventory or bank already have air runes or mind runes, and you hit collect or claim on the magic combat tutor, she does give you 30 of each. Now, I do want you guys to be aware that I might use this while not recording, and so if you ever see my stack of air runes or mind runes go up, it's more than likely because I've come here. She can do this every 30 minutes, and it's very recommended that you take the time to come back every time that you get an opportunity to. Now, the Cook's Assistant quest doesn't give the best experience, and it doesn't give many quest points at all. It only gives 1. I want to show you before we start that whilst on Tutorial Island, I did get 3 mining, 3 fire making, and 2 wood cutting. The reason that I did this is because my first money making method is going to be mining clay and turning it into soft clay. It's a lot easier to mine clay when you're a little bit higher than level 1 mining, and it only gives 5 experience per clay. So it's beneficial to get those first levels right on Tutorial Island, as you won't be grinding so much more clay just to get a couple of first initial levels. Now, let's talk to the cook. I've got his bucket of milk, got his pot of flour, got the fresh egg, and that's everything he's saved, and he's afraid we don't get to go to the party. Only the big cheeses get to dine with the Duke. One day we will be a big cheese, and we will get to dine with the Duke. It won't be a great experience, I will admit, for those of you who know, but for those that don't, I won't give any spoilers. But look at that, we've got our first quest out of the way, Cook's Assistant. We got a quest point and 300 cooking experience. This should get us, I think, probably 3 or 4 cooking levels. I'm very excited. Alright, yeah, 4 cooking levels. This is going to get us a little bit closer to our 100 total level goal, which is going to unlock the Grand Exchange. For those that don't know, the Grand Exchange is kind of like a trading house. You go, you place an offer, it'll sit in this intermediary bucket where another player could fill that offer by purchasing your item or selling you the item that you're looking to purchase. It's a very convenient way to do trading in this game, and it's going to be vital to the progress of this account. With that first quest out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and go upstairs, bank all of my stuff that I'm going to keep, determine what's going to the floor, and maybe just sell it instead. This is your bank, no one else can touch it but you. Now, I do know all of these things already. If you don't, I would take the time to read it. I'll be back in a moment once I've organized my bank. Alright, that's what I'm going to go with, and we'll start by taking all these coins and heading over to the general store, I'm going to pick up a set of shears if one doesn't spawn in Farmer Fred's house. I'm not sure if one does or not, so I'm going to pick one up anyway, and I'll meet you all at Farmer Fred's house, just to the north of this path here. Farmer Fred is the local farmer here in Lumbridge, and he owns this pen here, and the farm there. There are a few chickens in the front. He's got like a two-bedroom... Two-bedroom? It's just a one-bedroom apartment. It looks like... Well, it's a house. Looks like he grows onions in the back, which is fantastic, and he's got a bench to sit on. But he's going to ask us to shear 20 sheep, which is going to be a little frustrating, but it's going to reward us with another quest point. And some crafting experience. It might even give us some money, last I remember, but I'm not too sure. So let's start by talking to Farmer Fred, or Fred the farmer, sorry, and tell him that we're looking for a quest. They'll tell us to go ahead and bring him 20 balls of wool. We'll have to make them ourselves, so we should go ahead and start the quest. He tells us how to shear sheep, but I guess that's why you're watching this video, because you don't know how to shear sheep. So let's go ahead and head into this pen. You can climb over the stile and it doesn't take any agility experience. Like, there are people quite literally paying 6.5 million GP for bond just so they can train agility when this is free. Make it make sense. To shear sheep, you'll find one that... not ram. You'll find a sheep that says shear on it. If you hit a ram, it will attack you. Sometimes sheep have a chance of running away from you, which they don't seem to want to do right now. This sheep here has penguin underneath it. It is not a sheep. That is a costume. If you shear the sheep, look. The whatever it is manages to get away from you. There was a reference to the thing in the dialogue with Fred the farmer, and it makes reference to that thing. And just one more. I did get 26, only because I can sell the excess. Oh, there's a stupid imp. I'm going to try to get this imp to die. It doesn't seem to be paying attention to me, so I'm hoping that it doesn't teleport away. I have no luck when it comes to punching these things. I usually have to use magic, so here's hoping that it dies. It did not. It did not. Oh, did it go very far? It did not. It did not. Why do characters do that in this game? They run backwards when they ought to just be looking forwards. I give up. I'm so upset. We'll have to level up our magic so that we can kill them more efficiently and try to maintain a good stack of runes on our person, because there seem to be a good amount of imps around. So I'm headed back to the castle. On the second floor, American, or first floor, British, there is a loom? A spinning wheel? A spinning wheel. Yes, a spinning wheel. You utilize the spinning wheel in order to turn this wool into balls of wool, which you can use to string jewelry, which is probably what the farmer's not going to do with it, considering that he doesn't have any jewelry. I'm not sure what he wants with it, but here we are. And you can just spin away. This is terrible experience. And I don't expect that I'll get a level from this, but I should get close to a level from this, and the experience from the quest itself should put me over the top. Alright, we've got 20 balls of wool, and we can head on back to the farmer. Here we are. Talk to Fred the farmer. He'd still ask me what I'm doing on his land, even though he just gave me a job. Alright, I got all the balls. Give them here. That's the last of them, so I got to keep, what, 7? Sweet. What did he give me? 60 coins? I'll take the quest point and the 150 crafting experience, but 60 coins, my guy. Those are slave wages. I did get 3 crafting, which brought us to 42 total level, so we do still need 58 total level in order to get access to the Grand Exchange. And we also still need 8 quest points. There are a couple more low-level quests that we should bang out. And I think the next one is going to be... I think that the next one should be a combination of both Rune Mysteries and the Restless Ghost. Whilst I'm doing them and I'm in Varrock, I will pick up Romeo and Juliet. That should give me a pretty good basis for quest points, and if not, I definitely do want to do X marks the spot, because if I get a good reward from the clue scroll that you get at the end of it, that could start us off with a good set of finances on the beginning of the account. So I'm gonna head off to the graveyard and the castle. I guess we'll start with the castle, and I'll meet you on the second floor. American, first floor British, to speak to the Duke. Now, the Duke resides in the room opposite or next to the room with the spinning wheel, and he's this guy in the royal blue clothing here. If you talk to him and ask him for requests, he does hand you over this old talisman. It's an air talisman, and you have to take it over to the wizard's tower, which is a little interesting. Ah, quest helper. Sorry about that. That's one of those plugins that can be utilized. It automatically kicked in when I started this quest. I just turned it off, so it's not there in the corner anymore. We have to take this air talisman over to Varrock, but before we do so, we also... What did I just say? I don't have to go to Varrock. I have to take this to the Wizard's Tower. Prior to taking that to the Wizard's Tower, we should start the Restless Ghost quest, which is started in the chapel here. So I'll meet you there. If you talk to Father Eric here, he'll bless you with the blessings of Sarah Doman, but if you talk to him about quests, he'll tell you that there's a really, really annoying ghost in his cemetery right behind his chapel here, in that coffin. So we need to help him out. We'll start by heading into the swamp. Don't bother going and talking to the ghost, because you can't talk to him anyway, but just follow this path a good ways back till you get to these people, Abigail, and then just start heading in a westerly direction. If you are under level 13, some of these giant rats will attack you. If you are less than level 6, these won't. I don't know why, but they don't. They're just not aggressive. These is where you're going. We will talk to Father Ernhe, or Ernie. I don't know how to say his name, but we talk to him to continue the quest. He's got a ghost haunting his graveyard, seems to be the problem. I don't know why that would be a problem. Like, where else do you expect that ghosts will live? I don't know what you expect for him to do, but you get to keep this Ghost Speak amulet, and we get to go back to the graveyard. Don't go to the wizard's tower, because we need something from the ghost prior to going to the tower. So let's go on back. I'll meet you at the ghost. Now that we're back in the cemetery, what we can do is that we can talk to this ghost. If we open the coffin, he pops out, and his name is quite literally the Restless Ghost. If we talk to him, he's pretty shook, because, yeah, we can understand what he said. You can mess around with him a little bit. You can tell him you don't know what the hell he's saying. You can tell him that you do, and you can tell him that this amulet works, and you're super surprised. I'm just gonna get right to the point. Like, what's the problem, bro? He's gonna tell you that he's missing his head. Some warlock down at the castle, or at the wizard's tower, sorry, decided it'd be a funny prank to steal the skull out of his coffin, and so he's stuck in this purgatory state here in Gielinor the whole of existence. He can't leave. So we're gonna set his spirit free by going and getting the skull back, which is what's in the wizard's tower. But we needed to know that first by speaking to the ghost. The wizard's tower is going to be right along the river here. If you keep going west, you will find a long bridge. I'll meet you on that bridge. Off into the distance here is the wizard's tower and the bridge that I mentioned. Because I'm using a plugin for RuneScape to be able to use my GPU instead of my CPU for rendering the map, it's allowed me to render further out. So what I've actually been able to do is just walk right up to the edge of the river here, or the lake here, or the ocean, or whatever body of water this happens to be. And I just clicked right on over at that wizard's tower, and my character is going to walk all the way right round over there. I haven't had to click in about 30-40 seconds, and I recommend utilizing these methods in order to get around the map, as this is quite a big map. Here at the Wizard's Tower, you'll find wizards. They're level 9, but they use magic, and they're pretty accurate, so I wouldn't hit them until you're pretty strong, because they will own you. I will just warn you, it's not worth anything. The loot they drop is all buyable. Don't waste your time. If you go on down here at the bottom, you can talk to Wizard Cedrador, or the Archmage. But before you do, let's run over to these like ruined, how would I describe this? Like ruined walls. Behind them is this little chapel, and if you search this altar, this skeleton's gonna come up and try to beat you up. But if you run away from him, he's kind of, yeah, he already forgot I'm there. Like, he's got the quickest forgiveness sensors. Look at this guy. Look at this. He doesn't even care. I think that's the warlock. The ghost did say that some warlock stole his skull. I think that may be the warlock in question. I'm not too sure. In any event, now we come on over to Archmage Cedrador and we tell him about the talisman. Alright, okay. Let's give it to Cedrador, and he's going to hand you something to bring back. The package that you get from him is supposed to go... Oh my goodness, this dialogue is forever. Yes, certainly I will do this for you. There we go. This research package is supposed to go to Varrock. Now, before we can go to Varrock, we should house teleport to Lumbridge. It'll put us a lot closer to the end of this quest. Now, to finish this quest off, the Restless Ghost, all we really have to do is run over to this ghost again, open that door there, and open his coffin. He did go back to sleep. Once his coffin's open, we can just use the skull right onto the coffin, and it will start this cutscene. This cutscene you can't really skip as the dialogue is fixed. It's funny to me that he lives in the river. Alright, we got a quest point, 1,125 prayer experience, and it says that we got a Ghost Peak amulet, but it's just the same one that we've already received. We just get to keep it. Cool! That also got us level 9 prayer, which got us all the way to Mystic Will, which gave us a pretty solid set of boosts for our starter training. I'm very excited about that. We've reached a total level of 50, so we're halfway to the total level of 100, and we have 3 quest points. Our next quest is going to be to finish off Rune Mysteries. Like I said, we do have to go to Varrock, and whilst we're in Varrock, we'll pick up the Cadaver Berries that are required for the Romeo and Juliet quest. Since we're looking for Cadaver Berries, we'll want to get as close to this circle without getting too close to the wizards. So we'll want to save up. Ooh. There's a wizard. It almost may have been worth it to follow the other path, which I just worked so hard to avoid. I'm going to run by these wizards, and it doesn't seem like they noticed me. They will kill you, and they will own you. You only have 10 hit points. It's not worth it, but we need these cadaver berries. I can't buy them, unfortunately. While I'm here, I'm also going to pick up some red berries because I might be able to make a red berry pie for the Knight's Sword quest, which I'll utilize later for some strength experience. I don't want to risk going by the wizards again, so I'm going to follow the path to the east of Varrock and then go in through the eastern gate to get to where I need to go. Entering through the eastern gate is actually quite based because when you remember, there is tea here that you can use to heal yourself. Although I'm not a member, that is still very useful for people who are members, and maybe one day. Maybe one day. Now when you enter onto Main Street, you're gonna have to bang a left onto Aubrey Road. This is this brown path here that splits off into two. Now don't take that forked section, keep going down Aubrey Road. You'll turn at the very end, the only path that you can. At the very middle here, you'll find a magic store. That is Aubrey's rune shop. This is where you're going to hand over this research note. If you talk to Aubrey, you'll see he asks if you would like to buy some runes. He's a capitalist at heart. It's fantastic. He is the rune crafting master. But you know, he forgets things, like the fact that things other than money exist, and we've got a quest to do. So we'll tell him that I've been sent here with a package, and we'll ask him for some help. You know, Cedrador at the Wizard's Tower, you know, he can't have, please let me have it. He's very impressed. You know, Cedrador doesn't often send correspondence, but because you do have correspondence, he'll have a look. Continue to go through the dialogue, and eventually he'll have an incantation for you. You bring these research notes back to the Wizard's Tower, and actually, scratch that. I have 23 minutes left in order to cast the spell back to Lumbridge. So what we'll do is we'll utilize this time to get the Cadaver Berry Potion and do the Romeo and Juliet quest. So let's go on over to the town square. So you get back onto Main Street. And you hit the town square. I'll meet you when I see... Oh, well, there he is. There's Romeo. Juliet, Juliet, wherefore art thou, Juliet? Have you seen my Juliet? I have actually seen her. She was on... Well, let me not. This is a PG channel. She is blonde, stressed. Yes. Yes. Well, I guess she could be considered attractive. Wow. Wow. So we're gonna go ahead and start the Romeo and Juliet quest. The gist of this dialogue is that Juliet lives off in Varrock somewhere. Romeo has never seen or met her. He was in love with her so heavily, but her father doesn't want them to be wed. The problem with that is that she does want him, and so we have to go and try to get them together. So what we're going to start with is by going to her house. Her house is this big house here, to the west of Town Square, and she often resides on this balcony here. This is her cousin Philippa, and she is quite the hussy. Juliet, I come from Romeo. He begs me to tell you that he cares still. Oh, how my heart soars to hear this news. Please take this message to him with great haste. Now, listen, neither of you are paying me for this task, and you can't rush me, but I will get it to him. He was quite upset when I left. He's often quite upset, the poor sensitive soul. But I don't think he's gonna take this news very well. However, all is not lost. Alright, in the letter it explained to him, blah blah blah. Okay, so the gist of this is Juliet's got a letter for him. The letter's gonna tell him that she's not allowed to see him. Unfortunately for her, that's not gonna be enough for him, and he's gonna expect me to kill her. Spoiler alert. I'll see you when I get back to... Oh, I'll see you when I get back to Romeo. This dude is about to be so pissed. Oh god. Dearest Romeo, I am very pleased that you sent Maximilian to look for me and to tell me that you still hold affliction. Affliction? She thinks I'm diseased? Affection? Ah, yes, still hold affection for me. I still feel great affection for you, but unfortunately, my father opposes our marriage. Oh dear, that doesn't sound too good. Yada 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 yada. Yada 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 yada. Yada yada. Where can I find Father Lawrence? Father Lawrence is... Okay. Now, Father Lawrence is over in the church up here. Okay, great. Now we're here, and there's Father Lawrence. If we talk to Father Lawrence, he's praying, he's mid-sermon, we interrupt him, and Romeo sent him. So he's even more mad now that Romeo sent us. Everyone's sleeping. We've taken the piss. He's gonna be quite upset. It's okay. You know, if you just help me out, brother, you can go ahead and get back on with your sermon. But, you know, please continue. You'll need a cadaver potion. Yes, thank you. So, I have cadaver berries. If I am not mistaken, I can take this to the apothecary, and he will make me a cadaver potion. The cadaver potion I can then give to Juliet, and then Juliet will die. The apothecary lives amongst this rubble, and he has this chemist's hut. He's the man with the fro. If you talk to the apothecary while you hold cadaver berries, he will ask if you need any services. I need a cadaver berry potion. It's not on this list, so clearly I didn't do this right. Talk about something else. Talk about Romeo and Juliet. I need a cadaver berry potion. Very good. Give him the potion mix. Here is what you need, and he gives the potion. Now, I think I just need to bring this right on over to Juliet. And, quest complete. No, not quest complete. I think there's the cutscene. Alright, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that I just bring this right to Juliet. Hi Juliet, I have an interesting proposition for you, suggested by Father Lawrence. It may be the only way that you'll be able to escape from this house and be with Romeo. Go on! I have a cadaver potion here, suggested by Father Lawrence. If you drink it, it will make you appear dead. And when you appear dead, your still and lifeless corpse will be removed to the crypt. Then, Romeo can steal into the crypt and rescue you just as you wake up. And this is your great idea for getting me out of here? To be fair, I can't take all the credit. In fact, it was all Father Lawrence's suggestion. I hand over the suspicious potion. Wonderful! I hope Romeo remembers as well, because if not, we're all royally screwed. Oh, here's Philippa, my cousin. She's in on the plot. Yeah, she's in on the plot, and you've lost the plot. But okay. Oh no! Juliet! She has died! Hear, hear! She is dead! Hello, father. Alright, it's time to go and tell Romeo that his betrothed is deceased. Maybe he'll go and get her, maybe he will actually go and rescue her, or maybe he'll go and find some hussy named Philippa to be with instead. Who knows? Stay tuned. I hope that he really finds it in his heart to go and rescue his wife, or fiancé, or love of his life. What even is she to this guy? He's never even... I gave her the potion, my guy, and, oh yeah, I didn't tell you about the potion. Well, I just killed her with a potion, and you're gonna go rescue her. Alright, let's go. Right. This is that creepy crypt we were talking about. Uh-oh. There she is. There's Juliet. Probably not dead, although Romeo is none the wiser. I hope he can save her. I feel really bad because they're about to meet up and he's literally cheating on her now with... Wow. Anyway. Up to 8 total quest points. We still have 8 minutes left until we have a home teleport, and I am not walking. That'll wrap up this episode, and I will see you guys on the next. Please consider leaving a like, a comment, and subscribe for the next episode. When we come back, we'll probably be finishing off 2 more quests to finish off that 10 quest point requirement, which still leaves us with 20 hours of in-game time and 100 total level to achieve. My name is Max's Million, and it's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys on the next time.